Hello and welcome to Weekend Investing Daily Bytes. We are watching episode number 174, and today in the markets we had a correction after several strong days, pre and post the budget, and most of the sectors gave up some of the ground. Also on the back of poor futures, signals from the US market. The market was not able to hold its ground, and we have seen in the last few days, although the FII selling has abated to a large amount, but we haven't seen aggressive buying. So it does seem like that the buying is still not coming, and the selling, although which was tempered for a few days, and today's figures we don't know yet, but my guess is that the selling has started again. So today's topic is about compounding. You may feel that we sort of keep stressing on known subjects, but I can tell you that the more you hear about it and the more you are able to implement it, it will be beneficial for you. So we are going to talk about how quickly, after the first hurdle is crossed, the next targets are so quick to come in an exponential way. So after you've crossed, let's say, your first million, your second and third million will come very, very fast, and I'll show you with examples today. But first, a look at the markets. As I said, markets, all the sectors which were running in the last 3-4 days have taken a beating today, sort of a correction. Nothing lost on a weekly basis, but the breadth of the fall was pretty much uniform across the markets, with autos standing out a little bit, but the autos hadn't done so well in the last 4 days anyways. In terms of the broader base of the market, small caps were standing out, not falling. The small cap 250 index falling only 0.01%, so flat basically, and Nifty Next 50 was also down only 0.5%. Mid and small cap index down 0.6%, whereas CNX 200, Nifty 50, CNX 500 all down 1 or more than 1%. In line with the small cap performance, MI 25 and MI 35 were outperforming on the green. MI 50, ATH2, MI 20, MI 30 were flat, and we saw some losses on NNF 10, ATH, EverGreen, and LT CNX 200 along with all cap. So pretty much in line with the market, and nothing really damaged on a weekly basis for most of these strategies. So coming back to our topic of the day. So I tweeted this chart about my own Twitter association, how it has grown from 1,000 in 2017 to almost 180,000 now, and that itself is a lesson in terms of exponential growth when we keep taking small steps. So I am doing nothing new on a daily basis, but I'm engaging with people on Twitter, putting my thoughts out, not really worried about who may think my tweets are good to read or not, but just as a practice, just putting out what I'm thinking and engaging with users and potential clients and a lot of other thinkers on Twitter in general. So what has happened is that without any additional daily special effort, the exponential growth of the chart of the Twitter association is dramatically gone up. So earlier, in a few years back, maybe a few hundred people used to add on every month. Now about 7,000, 8,000 people add on every month, and the effort to do this has been constant, more or less. So what the point I'm trying to make is that with the same effort, you get more and more returns as you go along the exponential curve, and you will see this in the charts that will follow. So of course, classic example of Mr. Buffett, that 99% of his wealth today has been earned after his 50th birthday. So all that build-up that he had over all these years, and then you can see the sudden exponential shoot up. So, just in the last 2 decades, I mean, his net worth has gone up somewhere like 3-4x from 17 to 58.5 billion. So you can just see the hockey curve that kicked in after his 50th birthday. So this is very encouraging, very motivational, and a great hope for everybody. But what you need to see is that you don't need to be discouraged in these early years. So from age of 14 to age of 19, he just doubled. So CAGR was pretty low here. And then there were other periods like, from age of 33, he was at 2.4 million. And then till age of 36, it was 8 million. So it got a bit slow here. And then there were reasonable amount of drawdowns. So 34 million going down to 19 million here, from 43rd to 44, so on and so forth. So, but he kept doing what he does without bothering about it, and just see the hockey curve that he got. So also look at this episode 145. It's available in the Weekend Investing Hub, and you'll see that although it's tough to get to your first crore, but a very systematic way of adding on capital in the market, and you can get there, and everybody can get there provided they follow that timeline and that capital addition. So coming back to the topic, so we'll see some examples of SIPs, monthly SIP of 5,000 for instance, and we are assuming, and it's a big assumption, but I'm assuming that XIRR post-tax 15% is what you can achieve. And you will be able to top up your SIP every year by about 5%. So this is an assumption in these examples. So 5,000 monthly SIP, if you were to do for 94 months, so that's 7.8 years. And if you were able to get a XIRR of 15%, and if you are able to increase that SIP after the first year by 5%, then by second year another 5%, so on and so forth, it will take you 94 months to reach 10 lakhs. And it's not a small period, 7.8 years. But see what happens for the next million. The next million comes in 40 months, whereas the first one took 94 months. So about 8 years for the first one, and only 3.2 for the next one. Only 27 months for the third one, only 19 months for the fourth one, 16 months for the fifth one, so on and so forth. So you can see that the dramatic exponential curves works in the reverse way in terms of number of time taken to get your next million. And in 8 years you had reached 10 lakhs, and in 20 years you reach a crore year, just by sticking to a strategy that can generate returns, and you don't fear the strategy when it does its volatile move, and you keep on adding capital in a SIP basis. Similarly, monthly SIP of 10,000, first million comes in 62 months, 5 years. Second one takes just 32 months, third 23, fourth 17, fifth 14, and you can see that 5 years you take your first million, and 16th year you get your 10th million if you are following the XIRR of 15%. Let's see where is our next slide. So these are again more examples of 15% XIRR, monthly SIP of 20,000. Your first million takes only 3.2 years. and within 12 years you reach your 10th million. Again, monthly SIP of 30,000, and with the kind of young investors out there, and the kind of dynamic jobs a lot of people have, and people are doing a lot of their own businesses, these SIP amounts could be large for a few, but for a significant section of the society, these SIP amounts are not out of the blue or out of reach. So monthly SIP of 30,000, if you are able to do, just see that within 27 months you reach your first million. The next one takes only 20, the next one takes only 15, and the 10th million comes within 10 years. And I mean, if you are starting this, let's say at the age of 30, by the age of 40 you have reached 10 million in your investing. And of course by the age of 50, you could go another 5x, 10x, and then what happened to Warren Buffett. So all that is definitely possible. So the whole idea about this is to encourage you to do continuous investing, have a long-term strategy that has a positive expectancy. If it can do 15% or even better, that's fantastic. But you need to stick to a strategy. Don't go haywire in terms of your thought process or your investing. That's all I'm here to say today. So this is so lessons and summary from this. So, and I've seen this in my career as well, and it's taken me a very long time to come to these conclusions, which at your young age and with so much resources available to you, you are able to get this at a very, very young age. So you must make use of it much more than what maybe my generation was able to. So, our brain is not capable of processing exponential moves, either in stocks or in our own investing process. So you need to trust the process and continue to follow it. So as I said, compounding is very difficult to estimate and understand, but once the trust is built and you keep on compounding, you can see magical impact of that. And it's very, very easy to quit. Market falls 10-20%, you're saying no, this is not working, let's get out. And that is sort of the area, I can tell you in the last, for instance, 2 decades, doing very well from 2003 to 2008, then 2008 crashed and kind of gave up on investing. Beautiful crash and fantastic prices were available, not invested, right? Then market came back up 2009 and then did nothing for next 4 years. Invested, but next 4 years got so flat and boring that most people gave up by the time it was 2014. And then the next leg started in a huge way from 2014 to 2018, I can say. A lot of people got on later on in that rally. And then 18, 19, 20, most people sort of lost some money there. And then the 20 crash, I mean, I can honestly say I did not expect this kind of rally from after the 20 crash, but it happened. So my learning from the market is it's very, very easy to quit, and don't believe any forecast, because nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But believe in your strategy and believe that India is a growing country and we have a great opportunity ahead of us. So again, invest in strategies that can beat the markets, whether it is weekend investing, whether it's somebody else, whether it is your own, but invest in a strategy that can beat the market. And you'll see this through and get to your millions in much lesser time than what you can imagine today. So that's the lesson and the message today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.